Hello there and welcome to the Monterrey versus Liverpool sort of review, reaction, sort of thoughts and stuff like that as well, where Liverpool ran out winners in the end by 2-1. But it was by no means easy or anything like that. And to be honest, in some ways, we are very lucky that we managed to go and buy Alisson Becker, because what a goalkeeper he is. Literally is the reason that we're going into that final on Saturday. So massive credit must go to Alisson. I think almost every media outlet and every person I've spoke to about it has said that Alisson's hands down man of the match. Now, I've only seen like the highlights because I was at work yesterday, so haven't seen the full game. But even just by going by the highlights, you can tell how dangerous Monterrey were as a team. But also what one of my mates said was sort of how Monterrey played quite dirty in some ways. They were very easy to go down, very, going into tackles very heavily sometimes. So they were playing both sides of the coin, going down easy but making really heavy tackles at times as well, some that were really unnecessary as well. So yeah, you're getting like the flip of the coin of that team right there. And to be honest, what one of my friends said, apart from possession, it was probably one of the worst games that he's ever watched by a Liverpool team recently. And even then, we still managed to get the job done. But yeah, it apparently was a very disjointed performance. But when I look at the lineup, I sort of understand it. Okay, obviously the big one here was Jordan Henderson playing as a centre-back. Now, from what I hear, he didn't play badly, but you could tell that he wasn't a centre-back. It's not like when we played Fabinho at centre-back before and he actually did really well. I think he actually got man of the match one time when he played centre-back. He at least got a Team of the Week card in FIFA, so that means something when he played centre-back. But yeah, apparently you could just really tell he's not a centre-back, but he did okay. He didn't do too badly. Milner played at right back. Gomez was his partner at centre back. Apparently was lucky to not get sent off as well. Robertson at left back. Then you had the Ox, Lallana, Naby Keita. Again, it's not a physical midfield. That, especially when if you take Henderson, you take Milner out of midfield, it's not a physical midfield. It's not. Yeah, it's a very lightweight midfield, that, so no wonder we weren't winning the midfield battle there. Somehow keeping the possession, but yeah, I think it was regardless of any of that. The front three were Xherdan Shaqiri on the left, Origi through the middle, and Mohamed Salah on the right hand side. Apparently Salah was absolutely brilliant in this game, was unlucky not to get a goal, but he was electric. I think he got an assist for Naby Keita's goal as well, and was very good throughout the entire game. Shaqiri wasn't too bad. Better earlier on in the game, but when it started to fade later on, when I think Mane came on. And then Origi, it was apparently one of the poorest performances that Origi's put on in recent times, purely because of the chances that fell to him, and he just didn't put them in the back of the net. Just did not put them in the back of the net. I remember seeing one in the highlights where he'd scuffed it and it bounced off Mane's chest or something like that and went out for a corner. Very close to goal, like 6 yards out in the box. We've seen him in that sort of position before against Barcelona. He smacked it in from a Trent Alexander-Arnold assist. So when then Origi goes off, 85th minute, I believe it was, or maybe even a little bit before that, Bobby Firmino comes on the pitch. Trent Alexander-Arnold comes on for James Milner at some point as well, and it looks completely different when you bring on those guys. So at this point, obviously, we've got Trent, Mane, and Firmino back in the team, and it looks like a different prospect. Starts to get a lot more chances. Trent Alexander-Arnold somehow has the vision to see this pass into the box from quite a bit out wide on the right hand side. Bobby Firmino makes the perfect run and slots it past the goalkeeper for 2-1, and that is game, set and match. We go through to the final on the back of what is not a great performance, but I can understand it being a very valuable performance for Liverpool for the sheer fact we've had to have two midfielders in our defence. We haven't had to, because we could have played Trent, but he's played a lot of games as Trent. And then Virgil van Dijk has been ill, hadn't trained up until yesterday, hadn't trained in 3 days because of illness. there is a good chance that he makes it to Saturday. But again, we have to err on the side of caution before we play Flamengo. And again, that's a team that I am actually going to do a bit of research on. I didn't do any for the Monterrey game. I wasn't going to lie about that. I didn't do much research at all about Monterrey. But I will for Flamengo, because at the end of the day, it's a final and it needs to be respected just as such. So yes, what were your thoughts on the game? Because those of you that did get to watch the game, is it, what I'm saying is it right? Am I right in turning around saying that it wasn't a great Liverpool performance, but we managed to get it over the line anyway? Player performances. Jordan Henderson as centre back, quite clearly not a natural centre back because he's a midfielder, but did he do all right? What about Origi? Did Origi play quite poorly? Did he miss quite a few good gilt-edged chances? By all means, by stats-wise, possession, we absolutely bossed it. Other than that, though, they had more chances and more shots on goal. Not by much. They had 14 shots, 7 on target. We had 11 shots, 6 on target. So it's not too different. But again, a lot of people saying that their forwards, especially Pavon, was looking, every time he got the ball, was just looking to drive forward and being a dangerous player. So let me know what your thoughts were on the game if you did get to watch it yesterday, and what do you think about playing against Flamengo. If any of you know anything about Flamengo, please do get in the comments below, because it'd be much appreciated, because then I'll have some place to start in my research. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you are new around here. And before I get out of here, actually, I've just had some other thoughts. Because I feel that we've done quite well with the type of schedule that we've had recently, that I felt could have been dealt with a lot better. Someone made points about Manchester United and Chelsea when they were last in the Club World Cup, and they had something between at least a week in between their fixtures in the Carabao Cup and all that sort of business. And for some reason, we've been made to play back-to-back within 24 hours. I have no idea why we, just as Liverpool, have been made to do that. Obviously, when Chelsea back in the day and United back in the day as well got their chances to play it, they had much more rest. Whereas we've had to sacrifice the Carabao Cup. Not that it's a cup competition that I think most of us care about, but we've had to sacrifice the Carabao Cup and play our youth team while we have to dedicate our first team out in Qatar in the Club World Cup to win this one. So I don't think that's fair, but I feel that we've dealt with it in the most professional way that we can. We should come out of it smelling of roses, basically, whatever happens on Saturday. Hopefully we go out there and win it, but there's no doubt that people like the FA, the Premier League, whoever else, the people that are in charge of these football governing bodies, they are the people that are putting teams like us in a poor position. It should be there to help teams be successful and have a fair chance, just like everybody else, at competing on all fronts. It's not our fault that we went and won the Champions League. It's not our fault. It was there to win. So we shouldn't then have to be punished in another competition because the organisers of the league and cup competitions can't get their act together and say, listen, we'll try our very best, we'll move fixtures left, right and centre. What should have happened at the start of the season, organisers of the Premier League, the cup competitions, should have looked at it and said, there's a possibility in December, they should have done this in August, in December, if Liverpool go all the way in their competitions, they could have this happen. So let's find a solution that maybe we can do something in October, we can do something in November, we could do something a little bit earlier on, move some fixtures. All right, it might cause a bit of congestion for Liverpool, but it would still spread out the playing time more than it ever did that we've just experienced. It's ridiculous. Puts a lot of pressure on our younger teams, and also meant that we couldn't have our first team manager and coaching staff take that game. They've had to fly out to Qatar, prioritise this one. Some people are actually saying that we disrespected the Carabao Cup by not playing the first team. I don't think people understand, outside of Liverpool, what has actually happened to us. I really don't think that, you can't take your first team, play in the Carabao Cup, fly out for like 7 hours or whatever it is to get out to Qatar, 3,000 miles away, and then play again within 24 hours. It's not possible. It's not possible. You need to get your head around it. It's not possible, and it's not expected of any other team. So that's my last final thoughts. A little bit of a rant at the end there. Didn't mean to, but I needed to get that out there. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have liked it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.